So you've probably seen it, right? That viral job posting, the one promising this life-changing six-figure salary to be a prompt engineer. We're talking over 200 grand a year with, get this, no coding and no experience needed. I mean, it sounds like the absolute dream job for the AI age. But is it for real? Or is it just a bunch of hype? Let's try and separate the facts from the fantasy.
So first, let's dive into the promise. What's being sold online by influencers and the people hawking courses. They've really spun this powerful, super appealing story, and it all kicks off with this kind of mythical job description. And this right here, this is the heart of the fantasy. The idea that you can go from zero to a top-tier salary at a major tech company. The only thing you need? A desire to learn. A desire that, once you know it, often leads you right to a link for their private course. It's basically being sold as a golden ticket.
I mean, it all sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? So the big, obvious question is, are these jobs even real? Do they actually exist out there in the wild? Let's take a look at what the job market really has to say.
All right, now it's time to put this dream to the test. Let's see what happens when we compare it to the cold, hard data of actual job listings. So, at first glance, the illusion seems totally real. You type prompt engineer into a job search and boom, hundreds of results pop up. And the salaries? They are legitimately high. We're talking up to $250,000 a year, and yeah, a lot of them are remote. The dream looks like it's alive and well. But this is where the myth just completely shatters. You click on one of these job listings, you start reading the fine print, and reality hits hard. Look at these qualifications. They want a bachelor's, sometimes even a master's degree in computer science. They want you to be proficient in programming languages like Python. And, this is the big one, they want several years of experience with AI frameworks like TensorFlow. I mean, these are not entry-level positions by any stretch of the imagination. So here's the crucial takeaway. These prompt engineering jobs, they aren't some magical new career path that just appeared out of nowhere. No, they're senior software engineering roles that have just been given a trendy new name. Those huge salaries aren't for writing clever sentences. They're the standard high pay for very experienced engineers, especially in big tech hubs. And what about the actual day-to-day work? Well, the perception is that it's all creative fun, just chatting with an AI. But the reality is pretty different. As you can see, about 75% of the job is engineering the systems that the prompts run on. And the other 25%? It's just making tiny, repetitive tweaks. It's a super rigorous process of optimization and debugging. This iceberg image just illustrates it perfectly. That creative part, writing the prompt itself, that's just the tiny little tip of the iceberg you see sticking out of the water. The huge, vast majority of the real job is everything that's hidden underneath. It's search algorithms, data systems, document curation. It has almost nothing to do with just talking to an AI. There's also this really interesting paradox to think about. The whole sales pitch for this job is that AI is going to replace other complex roles like accountants or lawyers. But if an AI actually becomes that powerful, it's almost certainly going to have a better understanding of what's needed than the human telling it what to do, right? Which would make the whole prompt engineer role, well, redundant. So chasing this specific job title, probably not a great future-proofing strategy. So if prompt engineer isn't the real golden ticket, then what is? Where's the real opportunity here? Look, this isn't about shooting down AI. Not at all. It's about refocusing on what actually matters. And spoiler alert, it's not a job title, it's a skill. This slide nails the key idea. Prompting isn't a job, it's the new Excel. That's the perfect way to think about it. It is an incredibly powerful tool that professionals in every field can and really should be using to get their work done faster and better. Yeah, just think about it for a second. We don't have jobs called Excel engineers that go around replacing accountants, right? No. Accountants use Excel to become way more effective at their jobs. And that is exactly how we should be thinking about AI. The job is this super niche thing that needs an engineering degree. But the skill? Well, that's a universal tool that can enhance literally any role. And the benefit is absolutely massive. Seriously, knowing how to effectively talk to these AI models is a true force multiplier for your productivity. If you get good at it, you can do significantly more work in the same amount of time, and the quality is higher too. It's a skill you really, really need to learn to stay competitive.
Okay, so let's throw all that hype out the window. What should you actually be focusing on if you want to build a solid foundation for your future?
Here it is, your real three-step path forward. First, master the foundational skill. Treat learning how to prompt well just like you learned Photoshop or Excel. Second, integrate that skill into whatever you do now or whatever you want to do. The value is in how you apply it. And third, look, if you really do want that high-paying tech job in AI, then the path is clear. Learn to code, study computer science, and become a proper engineer. And this skill is not just for tech people. It enhances what you can do across the board. Marketers can generate entire campaign ideas. Customer service agents can summarize tickets and draft better responses. Content creators, you can brainstorm outlines and bust through writer's block. The applications, they're pretty much endless. So the most important thing to remember is this: stop chasing a hyped-up job title. Instead, start building the fundamental skill that is actually going to define the future of how we work. The real question isn't, how do I become a prompt engineer? The real question is, how am I going to use this powerful new skill to multiply my own effectiveness?